Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to give it just a few minutes for everyone to log in here. All right, Aroni. How are you today? Thank you for joining me on a Thursday. It's been a crazy week here. Everybody is running around, last minute shopping. Last month, I did a bunch of 5 moves in 5 minutes kind of theme. You wanted more workout and less talking, so I get that. We're going to continue on that theme today and next week as well. I will be here on Christmas Eve. If you are available, I invite you to join me for the third of the couple sessions I'm working on here right now. I see that I am live on the other end. Perfect. I'm going to just share this. Hang on. Perfect. And okay. So today is 5 moves in 5 minutes. Most of my sessions, of course, are short as far as the number of positions, and it's more up to you to decide, do you need to do a little bit longer? Are the goals feel good? Are they fitness? Many of these things come into play. And very quickly, if you are still shopping and deciding whether it's for yourself or someone that you're investing in their health, lots of amazing deals still on with Life Pro. If you go into their main site direct, you'll see on the top there's a little tab that says shop sale. You'll see all the deals are there. There's 50% off items. There's deals under 150. It's a really great thing to check out some of the items in there, and you still have some time to get these things delivered in certain areas. I'm looking towards the new year. Let's get into the routine before the pressure of the new year. So what I hope to do with some of these shorter sessions is not only keep you moving throughout the holidays, but I want to encourage you, if you are on the fence, this thing's been collecting dust in your living room, maybe you haven't been using it regularly, you've fallen off the routine bandwagon. Sometimes the best way to keep moving and feeling better throughout the holidays is just with some spot treatment type stuff, some feel good stuff. Certainly, the exercise, whether you're working on strength, bone density, weight loss, all of that is important, and you want to keep up any good results you have been working towards. But I know this time of year, whether it's physical, mental health, weather, you're cooking for 20 people, there's lots of things where life gets in the way. So some of these little tips today you can use as a single. You can also use as a routine if you want to put them all together. So I see that I have a few of you there. If anyone is joining me today, I'm going to invite some questions at the end, as I always do. But if you can see and hear me on the other end, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know where you're joining me from. If you are joining me today, not sure if you're a new user or you're an experienced user, but I hope today I'll give you some really simple ideas. Sometimes doing spot treatments and maintenance work, on those days where you don't feel like working out or time is short, is a great way, like I say, to keep all that effort going. You're still going to get a lot of the feel-good benefits, the energy. Anytime you move, lymph moves. So for those of you that are focusing on lymphatic drainage, anything autoimmune, which is huge this time of year, just getting moving a little bit is one of the best ways that your machine can help you throughout the holidays. So today is about seated use. Next week's going to be more total body and standing exercises. That's on Christmas Eve. I'll be here at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So today I have my trusty dusty stool. My feet are barefoot. I posted an article in the group this week about barefoot. What's your choice? And no surprise, the vast majority of you like barefoot or sock feet. So I am in my bare feet today, and my feet are no more than hip width apart. I do encourage, if you're not using a stool that is at a 90-degree angle, long term, you may want to look at something like that. It's not necessarily an issue for everybody, but I do have some of my clients that do a lot of seated use, and if you're going downhill in the hips, it can put a little extra strain on the hips and the knees. If you're sitting like this and being downhill, I would prefer you be more functional. So get those feet about hip width apart. As always, all of my sessions are at a mid speed to a higher range if that's comfortable for you. I'm on the Rumblex Plus today, and I'm running at a speed of 30. So I'm right in the middle of my 60 speeds. You'll notice as you get moving faster, it's smoother, it's a little bit kinder. And we're going to start with some foot pumps today. So foot pumps are kind of like doing a mini calf raise. And then we turn and we lift the toes. You want to make sure the knees are not passing the toes in this exercise. Many of us are running around shopping malls. I forgot to turn this light on. Running around shopping malls, chasing after our kids' year-end activities. There's all kinds of things going on this time of year. And if you are on your feet, or if you sit too much and you tend to have swelling in the lower extremities, this is a great little single exercise, or you can add this to the 5 exercises we're doing today. If you are working on calf strength, maybe you're not standing on the plate completely yet, this is a modified position, so we're not bearing all of our body weight, some of it. So, we're working on calf raises, so we want to come up onto the balls of the feet, and we're going to lift the toes and stretch the calves. The more mobility and range of motion that you can have in your ankles, and even the toes and the muscles of the feet, that's a benefit to exercising barefoot and using your plate barefoot or sock foot. But this is just a really good way to help the lymphatic, give it a good boost, the circulation. For those of you that are working towards other exercises, practice the moves seated before you add mass to it and make it more challenging, okay? I have an accessory that I've pulled out from time to time. This is my rusty, dusty pool noodle. For those of you that maybe have prolapse issues, fallen arches, hypermobility, there's a million reasons that I can't do this, Debbie. So for those of you that can't do this, maybe need a little bit of help, you can add a pool noodle to offer you. This is the same first move still. So maybe you're not working on calf raises, or that was next to impossible. For some people it is. I've wedged the pool noodle under the back of my heels, so it kind of naturally forces me up into that calf raise, but with assistance. And the pool noodle, you can still feel the stimulation from the plate transmitting through the pool noodle, and it's into my arches and the heels of my feet. So this, if you're dealing with neuropathy, drop foot, any kind of sensitivity issues, which affects your gait, everything else, this is maybe something else to try. You can change the exercise by pushing it forward now onto the balls of the feet, so we're raising the toes, but without doing it ourselves. Heels are on the plate, balls of the feet are resting on the pool noodle, okay? You can even do a variation, rolling. Play around. This is just a variation, like I say, if the range of motion or the stability is lacking, okay? If you have fallen arches, uncomfortable arches, neuropathy, since I already have it here, I'll just add this on. I love resting the arches of my feet on the pool noodle on the plate. It's just an awesome massage, and I kind of roll in and out. Play around, experiment with what feels good to you, okay? Awesome add-on, stool and a roller. Top 2 toys to have with your machine, okay? So I would say on this exercise, if you're doing it on your own, probably a minute to 2 just to break up the sitting if you're using your machine seated under a desk. The next one we're going to move into is a bit of a calf stretch, and it's also going to help those of you that might be dealing with sciatic issues. It's called the nerve floss. This is a common fave in my seated sessions. We're going to work one leg at a time, and even though if you do have sciatic or anything hamstring, hip related, it's typically one side that's worse than the other. I've got the right leg to the camera, so what I want to do, this is a 2-part move, is we're going to take the first leg, we're going to keep the leg straight as possible, You feel that stretch in your calf as you pull the toes towards you. Then we're going to slightly lift. May not lift as high as me. It really depends on your strength and your mobility, but you'll feel that hip coming into play. So we're going to lift. And the second part of the exercise, we're keeping a nice, straight, engaged core. And we're going to take our line of sight, and we're going to, at the same time, we're going to look at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to hold 2, 3, and then we're going to relax. And I would love to see 3, maybe 5 reps on this one. So 2 moves, out, raise, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're finding that like your thighs or your hips are seizing up, the duration of how long you do something like this is really an individual thing. Try 2 to 3 seconds. You know, maybe you're looking more like this because you're just starting out. Okay? The most important thing is to focus on good positioning and good technique, not how long you're doing it for, and that will build up in time. Of course, do the other side regardless of whether you have issues there or not. If you do have issues on one side, the other side's doing all the compensating and it's doing all the work, so it needs a break too. So we're going to lift, stretch that calf, hold, 2, 3. We're looking 3/4 of the way up, down. Okay? Pick yourself a line of sight. I'm looking where my roof meets my wall. 2, 3, relax. And like I say, 3 to 5 reps on this one. Lift, hold, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Really depends on you. 3 to 5 reps might take you 20 seconds. It might take you a minute. I certainly wouldn't do one like that for 2 to 3 minutes on top of everything else you're doing. But if you're doing it as a standalone exercise, just a spot treatment, 1 to 2 minutes. If you're adding it on to another routine, it's a great way to get warmed up, loosen those joints, get the blood flowing, get those muscles warmed up before you do your other things. Many of you, this came to my mind this week, many of you are dealing with hip issues. And there's all kinds of these things online about seated yoga, seated Pilates. We're seated. So if you're doing chair exercises of any discipline, by incorporating your vibration plate, you're going to make those exercises more effective in less time, and it makes it easier for you to do. So the next exercise I want to do, you can put your hands on your hips, you can put it on the chair, but we're going to lift, and I want you to come to the right, hold, 2, 3, swing back, down. Be very purposeful. This is one Roseanne's going to be working on in about 5-6 weeks. So we're going to lift, we're going to turn, hold, 2, 3, depends on you and your hip. You might only last a second or two, or maybe you're looking more like this. Okay? You're feeling kind of robotic. We're not lifting and sloppily. We're going to lift, turn, back, sit. And we're going to do the other side, of course. So we're going to lift, open that hip up, 2, 3, back, down. Lift. Again, we're pushing for 3 to 5 reps, up to 5 seconds a rep, depending on you. Okay? Really get those hip flexors working, flexibility. So the legs should be warmed up now. Okay? So the next one we're going to focus on is going to be incorporating 2 upper body add-ons. Depending on you, your range of motion, I would recommend starting, if you've never added upper body while seated, we're going to take our hands, we're going to put them on our knees, and we're going to lock up the elbows, okay? By adding it to the knees, we're becoming a part of the movement. So for those of you that are looking for a little bit more total body lymph movement, maybe you got neck and tension issues, this is a great way to just get some additional movement into those areas. Anytime you're working on these moves, if you're feeling you've loosened up a little bit, or it's a little mild for your taste, you'd like a little bit more action, take the feet and widen them up, maybe an inch at a time, and you'll feel very quickly that there's more action. If when adding upper body you find that maybe it was too strong, maybe you can take a little bit more action on the legs, but maybe you got tension going on, or there's things that you want to tone down for the upper body, then do the opposite. We're going to move closer. So bring the feet an inch or two closer, just until you sort of feel what your level of comfort is, okay? Again, we're still working in a mid-speed range. I'm at speed 30. If that's okay, you like it, but you think you can handle a little bit more, you can continue. Lean over and put the elbows on top of the knees. This is going to be, there's less dampening because it's not going through the entire arm, a little bit more direct. So pay attention to if you feel like you're like resisting and fighting or it's too much, that's not what it's supposed to feel like. Bring the feet closer. And you can just bring your heels closer, angle the feet. If it's feeling good and you've loosened up and you want a little bit more action, again, widen the feet up just ever so slightly. It really depends on you. Now, while I'm down here, this is the basic position, but anything that you might do seated now, maybe you're doing neck rolls, you're rolling your head around. Maybe you're doing shoulder rolls. Anything that you might be doing seated at your desk, all you're doing is adding a stimulus. You're boosting the circulation, the lymphatic movement further. It's going to get it done quicker. If you sit at a desk commonly for 8 to 10 hours a day, we always worry about the swelling and what it's doing to our sciatic and our feet, but it's all that carpal tunnel, the clicking of the mouse, holding your arms out like this all day, that creates and adds a lot of tension. As women, it's the bra, the purse, all those other things. So just lean over. I probably do this one on bad days 3 to 4 times a day for a minute or two. This is a really good spot treatment on its own. The next variation on this basic position, if you're liking it, you almost feel like you want to keep going. If you've got the ability to, go for it. See what your range of, and I hit the power button. See what your range of motion allows. Make sure that you're breathing. Don't fight it. Don't resist. Maybe that's too far and you just want to, hang on to the ankles. This is my clever little subtle way of trying to trick you into increasing your range of motion while we're doing some of these soft things. So recap, we do have one exercise left. We started with some foot pumps. Okay. We moved on to some sciatic, hamstring stretching. Then we started working on those hip flexors, holding. Okay. Very passive, but very effective stuff, guys. Then we went option A for the hands. You can even roll your shoulders and do it while you're here. These are all variations. What I want you to do is experiment. Maybe this feels better for you. Maybe this is how you sit all day. I got a guy that actually does do this all day. Maybe you do one side down a bit. Then you come up and do the other side. Experiment. Once you kind of learn how to navigate the speeds and the intensity, it really depends on where you're hitting yourself. And if you've got more tolerance here or there, you may need to do these subtle adjustments. But play with the feet before you play with the speed or the program. And then from here, we progress to the elbows. It's a little bit more intense, a little bit more into the shoulder blades. Next variation, we're going all the way south, okay? So the last exercise, now that we've done all this loosey-goosey arm stuff, I want to combine the first exercise we started with, the foot pumps, or if you're comfortable and you've got a little bit more confidence, some seated walking. You pick what the bottom half is doing. The top half is going to do some goalposts. So we're going to go 90 degree on the arms. We're going to look like this when we open up, and we're going to do a repetition. So we're going to try bringing those elbows together. We're keeping a nice straight core, back, pushing the girls out, stretching the chest like we're trying to touch those shoulder blades together. Okay? So here's what it looks like with movement. We can go up, back, 2, 3, forward, 2, 3, 4, back. I'm not that coordinated today. Whatever feels good, guys. Maybe you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is fine. Just make sure you're getting a good stretch and going through your full range. Maybe you like the foot pumps better. The more you can combine different exercises, the more total body effect you're going to get seated. And maybe after you've done a few reps of these because you've never done them before and you feel like you've overdone it, maybe you do one of these, or maybe you do one of these. Change these up in whatever way works and kind of feels natural for your flow and what you're dealing with. Whether you're using any of these as a single or, like I say, together as a routine, lots of benefit. You can get seated. For some of you, it's a choice to use seated. You're working at a desk, or you're watching the kids. Maybe you're watching the spaghetti sauce boil. But for many of you that are dealing with mobility issues, poor stability, fatigue, these are great ways to incorporate more. The faster you can get to fatigue, fatigue isn't about depleting the amount of aerobic energy you have. It's getting those muscles to a point where they feel like they've done something. And a vibration plate will get you there quicker than traditionally doing it on the floor, walking around the block, whatever that may be. So what I'm trying to do over the holidays is teach you how to retain and build energy while keeping the strength and the mobility and on all those good things you've been building up to at this point going. So again, I'll be here next week on Christmas Eve at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to do a standing 5 moves in, I said 5 minutes. Ideally, if you're doing one of these exercises for a minute each, you're looking at about a 5-minute workout. If you do them for 2 minutes each, then you're at a 10-minute workout. The time thing when you're doing the feel good stuff is really something you just have to navigate on your own. I never want to put a max time on someone. But if you're doing these type of things for 2 to 3 hours a day and wondering why you're not losing 80 pounds, you need to look at different exercises. Today is just feel good spot treatment stuff. But if you put some effort into your positioning, your techniques, you're going to be building that strength. You're going to be building up flexibility, strength, bone density, all these things long term. But I know things get rough over the holidays. So again, just a reminder, I will be here next week. If you are looking for some last minute shopping deals, like I say, Life Pro has some awesome stuff going on right now, whether it's for you or just something you're looking at getting into for the new year. Get into some good habits now, guys. Don't wait till the new year. It's here before you know it. It's kind of weird how we fall this year with the Wednesdays, but I am looking forward to seeing you guys before the holidays. I'm really hoping to just get you motivated and into the groove of moving and feeling better before all the peer pressure and all of that stuff with the New Year's resolution comes on. It's just so much more pressure. And you should be doing it for the right reasons, not because it's a competition and everybody else is getting a gym membership. So if you've got a tool at home and you haven't been using it, here's your nag. If you are looking for something to keep you motivated, like I say, I will be here on the 24th, and I'm also looking forward to joining you on January the 1st for a New Year's workout. I am hoping for those of you that have time off, you're going to invest it in some good health and wellness time for yourself. If anybody has any questions, I am here to answer those for you. If you're a new user and you've just gotten to play, some of these exercises are a really great way to get started. I'm going to sit down on my chair here. And I will also share last week's episode on my 5 moves in 5 minutes, which was more upper body related. So I'll do a post in the comments today after I get off the live. If none of you have any questions, you must know everything, and you're so smart, and you're doing all these exercises diligently, and you're just waiting for the next set for next week. All kinds of good stuff in the VIP group. If you ever are looking for something specific, I guarantee between myself, Roseanne, and Amber, we've probably done at least 5 to 10 sessions on most topics. So maybe you've got like shoulder pain, or maybe you're trying to tone triceps, or maybe you're trying to lift your booty, or maybe you're dealing with restless leg, or maybe you've got fibromyalgia, and we've all got a different reason we're looking at these plates, and how you apply them and use them isn't so much a condition thing. It's more about you physically, where you're at, what the overall goals are, and just kind of meeting somewhere in the middle with something that's doable for you. I want you to enjoy your time on your plates. I want you to enjoy your time over the holidays. It shouldn't be work. And if it feels like it's work and it's more of a routine, it's the perfect time of year to mix things up, take a new approach, and use the search function in the VIP group if you're looking for some specific workouts, or if you're dealing with some type of symptom that you just want to manage better over the holidays. So the answers are always there. I will do my very best to be available over the holidays. I know a lot of you have gotten plates over the Black Friday, and some of the deals are just so amazing. Many of you are getting started now. If you do ever have questions, specifically to today's or other sessions, just tag me at Debby with a Y. It more ensures that I'm going to get the notification. So if you do have any questions over the holidays here, something that you want to try out, I find this time of year, most of you are home, and this is when you start playing with your new toys, or maybe you got something for Christmas. So I want to be available and get you started on those good paths early without you overdoing it and being fatigued and sore because you overdid it on your machine for the first time. So reach out at any time. We're all here to support you in your wellness journey. Again, I've dropped the link to Life Pro, up to 50% off on select items, guys. There's a doorbuster special. If you could look at the tab on the top of the site, you're going to see there's a few different categories, something that'll fit everybody's budget. And if you have any questions, product specific, there's still a bit of time. Feel free to reach out, as I said, at Debby with a Y, whether it's product or how-to specific. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Christmas Eve next week at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For now, good luck with your shopping. That's an activity in itself if you haven't wrapped that all up yet. I'm still thankful to be with you each week and share my successes and my health journeys. I look forward to perhaps sharing some of yours as we roll into the new year. So start sharing those goals, be mindful about them, and let's get into good habits early. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Don't work too hard, and I'll see you on Christmas Eve. Thanks again.